Back, everybody. It is Monday, April 29th, and we're here with the Blue Group. We're talking a little bit at the moment about hedging. We had started about talking about the rich list and people in Ireland who are ultra rich. And then we talked about hedging because one of those people is a hedge fund manager. Now, we said that hedge funds are where a manager who has a strong understanding of, global investment projects will invest some of your money in certain projects with the intent of giving you back a very good return. So you might lose some money on one project, but then you'll gain money on the other project. So if he invests in crypto and it doesn't go well, he also has invested in oil, technology, and coffee, for example. But hedging in language is incredibly important, and we need to talk about this. It's incredibly important in professional academic language use. So even after your IELTS exam, it's important in the IELTS exam, but even after your IELTS exam, this will be very important if you're using English in a professional manner, okay? So students hate exams. Let's take that sentence. And this is a gross generalization. And it's one of the things that when children are developing through teen years, they tend to make these kind of gross generalizations and they don't sound good. So by the time you reach adulthood, we expect you to have a skill at hedging your phrases. So you have some experience of this already. I've been preparing you for this. You might use a generalization phrase, broadly speaking, and then a hedging opinion phrase. So here you're saying, I'm not saying 100% of people, okay? By saying students hate exams, you have all automatically implied that's all students everywhere forever. That's 100% of all students all around the world. Students hate exams. But, and now that sounds like a gross generalization, okay? But if you say a generalization phrase here, like we have practiced, and then an opinion phrase here, like I think it's fair to say that. Now we can put in a quantifier, okay? What quantifier could we put in? Well, a significant percentage of. And who are we talking about? Students. So a significant percentage of students. Now, who remembers the phrasal verb that means this often happens? Tend to. Okay, so tend to. So a significant percentage of students tend to. Now, what verb do you use when something is your experience? Find, tend to find. After tend to, it must be infinitive verb, tend to find. This means this often happens. Not that it always happens, but that it often happens. Find exams stressful. Now, what other words are important? You can say tend to. Find exams stressful. Or you can use a combination of modal verb adverb. Okay, and this is an example of hedging. We've already put you in this direction because I taught you, broadly speaking, by and large, for the most part, on the whole. These are kind of nice phrases. And then I taught you these. I think it's fair to say that. I think the point could be made that. I think it's not unfair to suggest that. And then we looked at these quantifiers, some, a few, a substantial number of, the vast majority of, only a tiny minority of, we put those in. And these things combined are hedging in language. What do they avoid? They avoid gross generalizations. So when, Melina, you'll eventually be working again as either a HR manager, we'll say, or a counselor or a therapist, you'll find that you have to be extremely careful with your language. You have to be very, very careful with your language, and that if you make gross generalizations, later your clients can come back to you and say, but you said, I did say that. So sometimes even me as a teacher, I'll say, that the vast majority of verbs might be like that. That means now I'm covered. Okay. I'm covered because I said the vast majority of verbs. If I'm less certain, I might say a significant percentage of verbs. Now, when you say, but you said, and I said a significant percentage, what is that? 30%, 50%, 70%? It's suitably vague to cover me. Okay. It supports my point of view, but when you come back and you start arguing with me, it's very hard to argue with me. You said a significant percentage. Okay. If you said all women are bad drivers, that sounds ridiculous. It makes the person who says it look like an idiot. But if you want to say that in certain cases, some women drivers have experienced difficulty in relation to parking issues, then you might say, well, that's less crazy to say that. Still a negative thing, just harder to argue with it. Okay. So these things, the whole idea of hedging is that in academic usage and then later professional usage, you're not saying anything that could, the other side could say, objection, Your Honor. Okay, that's not right. Okay. So broadly speaking, I think it's fair to say that a significant percentage of students, or percentage of students, if you don't want to say it's a significant, tend to, that means it often happens, and find as their experience exams stressful. Okay. They can sometimes find exams stressful. So the modal verb can, may, might, plus the adverb sometimes in certain situations, they'll use those. So lawyers, accountants, teachers, we have to be careful that we don't give you a rule that you later find is completely incorrect. So I might say in some cases, like this. So that's hedging in language. Now, really, I've been preparing you for hedging in language with phrases like, I think it's fair to say that, broadly speaking, by and large, okay, for the most part. And then you can use that, or you might use a perspective phrase. From a student perspective, I think it's fair to say that many of them tend to find exams stressful. That means, how can you prove I'm wrong? Okay, I haven't said anything that is not easily proven. Okay, so that's hedging in language. Now, I want to get back to where was I here? Okay. Now I want us to, I'm not leaving last week's material, but I do want us to talk about the high value verbs. I'm going to have a look at these now. High value verbs. We've been speaking about this and talking about introducing it for some time now. And this. Okay. So these are what we call general usage high value verbs. There's 50 of these. None of them, very few of them, I'll have to explain to you. There might be, out of the 50, there might be 10 that I'll have to explain. And even at that, it might be just clarification. Okay. So we look for from 1 to 10. And I'll ask you a question and you will tell me which one of these can mean help. Assist. Which one of these means to tell somebody something is a good idea? Advise.
Advise.
Good, good. And this is the verb, advise. The noun is advice. Okay. Which one of these means not to do something?
Consider.
No. Between 1 and 10. We're still on 1 and 10 now. Avoid. Avoid. Which one of these means to decide?
Chose to.
Choose to. Good. Which one of these means to give your full attention to? Concentrate on. Which of one of these means permit? Allow. Allow. Permit. Which one of these means to think about? Consider. Or which one of these means to do something positive and to win something? To win or to do something that you want to do. Achieve.
Achieve.
Achieve. Achieve. Okay. So that's 1 to 10. From 11 to 20, which one of these means to eat, drink, eat or drink, or to watch something on TV? Consume. Consume. Yeah. Good. Which one of these means to say, come on, you can do this. You can do this.
Encourage.
Courage. Encourage. Good. Which one of these means to improve something that was already good? Now it's even better. Not necessarily. Enhance. Enhance. So that's the difference between enhance and improve. Improve means make it better. Enhance means this was already good. We're making it even better. So marketing companies often say new and enhanced. They might say new and improved, but improved might suggest, was the last product bad? So enhanced means that the last one was good, but now this is even better.
What's the difference between enhance and develop?
Develop is like a tree. It goes out and up. Okay, so to develop your language skills might mean improve your fluency and your vocabulary, but also your understanding. So it's more, how would you say?
Complex.
It's more complex. That's a good word to describe it. And it's lateral as well as vertical. You know what I mean? But like if you said, for example, would you enhance your fitness or develop your fitness? You know, it'd be more likely to develop your fitness because it's going in different directions, faster, stronger, healthier. Whereas enhance just means better. So that one has a lot more directions that it could go in. So to develop your language skills, you speak more fluently, you have stronger vocabulary, your listening is better. Okay. Which one of these means to give somebody the ability to do something? To give somebody the ability to do something. Enable. Enable. Which one of these means to talk and communicate with somebody. To talk and
Engage with.
say again.
Engage with.
Bingo. Very good. That's very good. I didn't think you'd get that. So engage with means to talk and communicate with somebody. Which one of these means to make sure?
Ensure.
Ensure, that's right. Which one of these means to participate?
Engage in.
Engage in, yes, engage in. And this is a tricky little guy here, this one. This can often be used in positive ways. Melina always engages in the class, but Matthias engages in antisocial behavior. So engage in has both a positive and negative usage. And in the negative usage, what is the verb for murder and bank robbery? It begins with C. It's not on this list.
All together, the same two crimes together?
No, any crime. And it's also used for suicide as well. You don't make suicide, commit. So you commit murder. You commit bank robbery. For serious crimes, we commit. But for mild crimes, you engage in cyberbullying. You engage in antisocial behavior. You don't commit antisocial behavior. So we often use engage in when we're talking about stuff that you mightn't go to prison for it, but you might get a fine for it. You might get a warning for it. Engage in. But engage in has also a positive meaning where you can say, well, the students are always engaged in class. They engage in class.
And the difference between engage in and engage with?
Engage with means to communicate. So, you know, currently we have a major problem in Ireland. I don't know if you're aware of it, but it's in relation to the what do you call it? Where is it? It's one of the longest names in Ireland for a very small village, Newtown Mount Kennedy. Now, at the moment, Newtown Mount Kennedy is there's a lot of they're planning to move several hundred migrants. Now, when I say migrants, that's a very general word, but need to hedge my language here. International protection applicants. So the local people aren't happy about it, and they're protesting outside this building. It's in the middle of nowhere. It's like down a country road. And when they put up a drone, they found that they have lots and lots of tents to put these men into. Now, a lot of local women are very worried about this because these are all men in their 20s and 30s and 40s. There's no women, no families. Okay. Hundreds of local stories in the country. The police but at one stage they brought in riot.
There's something down, and it's like,
Yeah, you'll see it now in a few minutes where they were kicking and beating them. Now, the big question is, are these local people defending their local area? Or are these people coming in from outside, maybe from the UK, maybe from Dublin, and causing problems? Now we have another issue that they've discovered there's an agreement between the UK police in Northern Ireland called the RIC, or yeah, I think it's called the RIC or UC. I'm not giving it the right name. Or you see the Royal Ulster Constabulary was the old name for the police in Britain. And our history with them was not good. They wouldn't have been seen as a good organization, really, because they were very one-sided. But now there's talk that some of those have been brought in to do this work, because Gardaís are saying we don't want to do this. We're not going hitting these people, because our police are very community-based. So, for example, most of us have been trained at football by a local policeman. Okay, so they're very. So when he shows up at a situation and two teenagers are fighting after a disco, he says, and they go, sorry, and they leave. So it's a good system generally. We don't need guns because they're part of the community. This is not our normal relationship with the police, with the guards. They are usually in our community. We'd have drinks with them in our local bar, and this is a problem. Now, the whole situation, the whole debate is, are these local people or are these troublemakers? Not yet. They're going to spray them with pepper spray.
I'm going!
It's a very bad look for Ireland. You know, we're not used to it.
Of the person.
Water!
But the problem was as well, gripped pepper spray. They also pepper sprayed the press.
This police.
So the police got around one man and started kicking him on the ground. Also, a very bad look for the police. That's not a good look for the police. They are the guards, yeah. These are all guards. Yeah, they're kicking him down on the ground.
He's on his knees!
You can see a man down here. I think that's his bottom.
I'm a journalist! Press! You're pepper spraying press!
But she's saying, what word is she calling out? She said, I'm a journalist, and then she calls out another word.
I'm a journalist! Press! You're
A general umbrella term for all journalists is press. Why? Newspapers used to be pressed. You know, when you press a button, pressing. Well, in the old days, newspapers were pressed, and they were called printing presses. So, you know, they were a big, huge kind of metal thing, and you press them in, and that's how you put the writing on the paper. So today we say the press is this social grouping of all journalists. Now, it doesn't cover TV really, okay, but it does. It shouldn't, but it does. It does, but like it really shouldn't, because it's to do with newspapers. Yeah.
I'm a journalist! Press! You're pepper spraying press! You're pepper spraying press!
Well, she's a fairly famous journalist. Her name is Fatima Gunning, and there's a lot of this stuff going on. This is the Minister for Justice, and she's in a lot of under a lot of pressure now as well, you know. So basically, that's going on right now. And how is this connected to our thing? Well, engaging here might be used to describe people who aren't behaving well. And again, there's a lot of confusion with these situations. Very hard to know who's who are the good guys and who are the bad guys. It looks bad for the guards. It looks very bad for the government. Government should be managing the society so we don't have this. This is not good management of the country. So it looks bad. So in this situation, we would be saying that the government should engage with local communities. That's how you'd use that one. And some people are infiltrating the marches and they're engaging in antisocial behavior. But the government needs to engage with local communities. By the way, when you're using engage with, the bigger organization goes in front and the smaller organization goes here. So universities need to engage with students. The government need to engage with universities. The big one goes here, the smaller one goes here. Okay. Need to engage with local communities. And if you wanted, you could say the government needs to engage with universities, but universities need to engage with their students. So do you get that, Mateus? The bigger organization goes first and the smaller one goes second. So who's bigger, the government or local communities? The government, they've got more power, etc. So it's the government should engage with local communities. Now, it's a general guideline. It's usually fairly good guideline to follow. There might be exceptions to it, but that's the safer rule to give you, to say that that's how we would use it. Okay. All right. Get rid of, end. Get rid of, end, finish, kill. Which one between 11 and 20?
Eliminate.
That's it, eliminate. So when you're, I'm not saying that these are the only 50 verbs, but very often when you're in the middle of a writing situation or even a speaking situation and you're reaching to get kind of a word, what word would be good here? One of these will often be helpful, okay? Are there other verbs? Of course there are. There is a second list of 50 high value verbs, but these are general usage words, okay? Now, number 21 to 30, okay? These are used, which one of these is used to talk about your experience? Find, exactly. So when people say, how do you find Sligo? Say, oh, well, I got the bus. No, they mean, what's your opinion? What's your experience of Sligo? Okay. So you'd often hear people say, generally speaking, I find that. Okay. So that's find. Which one of these means say that you must do this? You must do this. No. Oh, well, actually, force, I hadn't spotted that one. It's not a bad answer. Insist. Insist and force both answer that question in fairness. Okay. Which word here is similar to eliminate? Eradicate. Eradicate. Okay. What would we use these for? Poverty, cancer, racism. I don't know, anything that we think is bad. Okay. Which one of these means to give the money for something?
Found.
Fund, correct. Which one means support or assist?
No.
Help. Right. Which one of these means you didn't do what you're supposed to do? Fail to. And if you use fail to, you'll add an infinitive. So we fail to develop, we fail to enhance, we fail to ensure, we fail to consider, we fail to assist, we fail to achieve, we fail to develop, we fail to encourage. So fail to is very often useful here. Help as well, we work with an awful lot of things. Okay, why? It's a way of hedging your language. If you say we encourage students, well, some student might say, well, I didn't hear from you. I didn't hear anything from you. You say, okay, well, you can help encourage students. You can help monitor. So this will monitor all of your problems. Well, it didn't monitor this problem. Okay, it'll help monitor. This will improve your fitness. No, it will help improve your fitness. So if you're working for an organization, you have to be very careful with your language. I think we've talked about this before, but
In the meaning that is not guaranteed. It's like,
that's right. It protects you because you're not out providing a guarantee. But for example, if you look at domestos, it kills 99.9% of germs. Now, why isn't it saying kills 100% of germs? Because they want to hedge themselves, they want to protect themselves. Because if you find a germ that it doesn't kill, well, that's the 0.001%. But watch this, what domestos did. Domestos kills all known germs. Now, they used to say 99%, but now watch what they say. Kills all known germs anyway. Now, where is the hedging in that sentence?
oh,
Known, yeah. There might be some unknown ones that we don't know about. And if you find one, that's one of the unknowns. We're talking about the known ones. Well, who knows them? That's the ones we know. Okay. So companies have to be very careful because later they can be brought to court. And a very famous court case was something you might drink every day. Actimel had their TV commercials banned. So you know Actimel, the drink. You might drink it yourselves, I don't know. It's this one, okay? The television advert for the probiotic yogurt drink Actimel has been banned for suggesting it protects children against falling ill. Okay. Hello, how are you? So that's okay, don't worry. So the Advertising Standards Authority ruled that the advert was misleading, and its claim that the drink was scientifically proven to help support your kids' defenses had not been proved categorically. So they didn't hedge their language sufficiently, okay? And they even used help support your kids' defenses. But even at that, they weren't be able to prove it categorically. So what happened to them? Their ad was banned, and it cost them a fortune. And then eventually, I think they were brought to court over this. And 30, yeah. So this was one of the reasons why in real life, it is very, very important to ensure that you are hedging your language. Because if you work for a company or an organization, even if you work for SuperValue and or the restaurant and you're speaking to a member of the public, to be very careful what you promise or what you say is okay. You know? you see it every day working with the public, and then your manager says, "What did you say to her? Why did you say that?" I said, okay, well, I'm sorry, I didn't realize. You know,
So there you go.
that's right.
Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and your boss comes back going, well, I just have to get a phone call from that. So yeah, sometimes, and I'll tell you where it happens a lot in schools. Teachers, and I include myself in this, but teachers say things in class sometimes that they shouldn't say, and the parents will ring in the next day going, what the hell is that teacher saying that for? You know, so you have to be careful. That's one reason why Donald Trump became so unpopular. Donald Trump had a lot of great policies, but the stuff he said was just left open to misinterpretation. And he was way too loose with his language, you know. And a lot of the good things, like that border with Mexico, of course there should be a barrier there, because look at all the human trafficking and the drug trafficking that goes through there when there's no border. But he started saying Mexicans aren't sending us their best. And all Mexican people all around the world going, what the fuck? Okay. And then people from all these other places. But if he had said, look, a lot of women and children are being raped and murdered by the cartels, bringing them across illegally. Got to stop that. That's terrible. Didn't need much different argument. What was his problem? He was very loose with his language. Very, very loose with his language. You know. Okay. So where were we? So that's an example of how you've got to be careful with your language there. All righty. So Maddie, we're looking at high value verbs this morning. To log in there, we'll get you. We're on this column here. Which of these words mean make? Yeah. Make. I'll make you eat your breakfast.
Of course.
Yeah. In this context, make people do something. Which one of these means to put in? To put in with.
Focus on.
No. Put in with. Include. Exactly. Include. Or which of these means to concentrate on? Focus. Pronunciation. Focus. And it's like kiss at the end. Okay. Focus. An awful lot of students say focus, and it just sounds terrible when they do that. So it's focus. Focus. Yeah. Focus. Good. All right. Next column. 31 to 40. Which one of these means to check regularly?
Check.
Check regularly. Monitor. Monitor. Again, tractor, monitor. It's like an ER. Monitor. Monitor. Which one of these could be to establish or bring in? No, we're on this column here. Establish, bring in, introduce. Remember last week? Establish, introduce. Okay. Which one of these means fail to?
Neglecting. Neglecting.
Neglect to and fail to are synonyms. Okay,
Isn't neglect when you don't pay attention to it?
that's right. But when you neglect to do something, so for example, you didn't check the temperature regularly. You what? He neglected to monitor the temperature. Okay, or, yeah,
But there's a slight difference between neglect to and fail to.
there's a slight difference, but when they're used with to, they tend to be used synonymously. I understand what you're meaning. You're suggesting this was through carelessness, and this just didn't happen. I get that. I get that. But sometimes you'll see that they use, and you're absolutely right, but you'll find that native speakers tend to use them synonymously. So it means you didn't do what you were supposed to do. Now, neglect suggests carelessness. But in these cases, you'll find that they use them synonymously. Which of these means to start? Good. How could you now say that the government didn't do what they were supposed to do, and what they were supposed to do was communicate with local communities?
They didn't do.
And they didn't do it. They didn't do what they were supposed to do. And what were they supposed to do? Communicate with local communities. Now you could use two of these together.
Neglect to.
Now it has happened in the past, yesterday.
Neglect, neglect, neglected,
It's a did.
neglected, neglected, to, into.
No. What one was to communicate with? Amadeus, what one was to communicate with?
Engage with.
So, what is it? 39 and 18. So give me the full sentence. And it's the government and local communities.
Government neglected to engage with local communities.
And if you didn't like neglected to,
Failed.
full sentence.
The government failed to engage with local communities.
Now your quality of your sentences is really good here. Okay. In IELTS, you'll always be able to blame the government for everything. Okay. It's the wonderful thing about it. There'll be everybody's favorite kicking dog. Okay. We'll be able to give the government a good kicking in the essays because nobody cares. So, and then you could use that then with other larger organizations like major supermarkets. We saw that last week. Or local authorities, or maybe hospitals. Hospitals neglected to engage with the public. They didn't sit down and talk to them, you know, and they said, well, there's only one door to get in. But my mother is elderly, she can't walk up there. That's too far. Oh, I never thought about that. No, you didn't, because you didn't ask us. Okay, so that's often a problem, you know. Maybe managers fail to motivate their staff. Okay, and now what you'll start doing is just when you see that list, you'll start playing with it yourself. And you're saying, oh, I could use two of these together. You know? So, for example, motivate and fail to. Okay, and then help increase or help develop. Doesn't guarantee development, helps develop. Okay. Which one in this means to offer is to encourage by offering reward. To encourage by offering reward in this column. Incentivize. Okay. So what's the difference between motivate and incentivize? Well, motivate, there may not be a reward. I may say to you, guys, come on, you can do this. You're intelligent, smart people. Of course you can do this. I'm motivating you. But if I say, if you get this right, I'll give you a sweet. That's incentivize. Okay. What's the opposite of reduce? Which of these is the opposite of reduce? Increase. To start. To start. To begin. Initiate. Very good. Initiate. And to do your job. Perform. Okay. So he neglected to perform his duties. Okay. Last column. Which of these also has a synonym over here? Provide, where is it, cinnamon in the first column? Wouldn't think so. Yes, is a synonym of allow. Permit and allow. Yeah. Now, your pronunciation was for the noun. Permit. Do you have a permit? Yes, here it is. I was here. Hang on a second. There we go. That's the noun. Record, record. Permit, permit. There is a group of noun and verbs that are spelt identically but pronounced differently. So the verb, how's this verb pronounced? Permit. And the verbs, record. Okay. Same with present. Present. So what do you notice? Second syllable is the verb. Present, record, permit. The noun, record, present, permit. So you can make a note of that there yourselves, that there's a certain group of, there's a specific group of words that have both the noun and verb phrase is similar. Okay. But the pronunciation is different. Which of these means to give? Provide. What were the rules for provide? What were the recipes for provide?
You provide something.
Yeah, good.
Someone with
Excellent. That's good. Provide something to someone, provide someone with something. Good. Which of these is the opposite of increase? Which of these is the opposite?
Reduce.
Reduce. Reduce. Good. Which of these would be the opposite of include? There'd be an antonym. They're not necessarily the opposite. They're
Remove.
remove. Correct. Which of these means need? To say? Require. Require. And which of these could be a form of help with money?
that
Is it soup?
soup.
Subway? Do we eat sandwiches in Subway? Substantial Subway. You do know that. How would you not know that? Subsidize, exactly. Just break it up yourself and you'll see the syllables there. Subsidize. Subsidize means somebody pays a percentage of the cost. So where would you see this? Canteens in universities are often subsidized. What's that mean? Well, it's cheaper than going to McDonald's or somewhere. Why? The university pays a certain percentage of the food cost and the student gets a slightly cheaper meal. Subsidized. Who in society gets a lot of subsidized so that your food is less expensive in the supermarket? Somebody gets subsidized so that you don't pay the real cost for food. Farmers get subsidized. And what do you think the noun of subsidized is? What do you call that payment? Subsidy. Subsidy. And the plural is subsidies. What's the formal word for get? Send and in your emails. Send and receive. Get. Formal word for give. Provide. What word from this list can mean help and assist?
Sport.
And what word from this list can mean stop before it happens?
Prevent.
Prevent. I was coming in this morning on the radio and they said, announce prevention is worth pound of cure. Remember this word? Is it 35 ounces in a kilo? Pounds in a kilo? This one I know. And the pronunciation and the abbreviation is LB. Where would you hear pounds? Well, women, when you're talking about weight loss, if you're watching videos online or anything like that, the Americans will always say pounds. There are 14 pounds in 1 stone. And I think it's 5.4 kilos.
Not so much, no? Because then one stone is going to be.
It's 4.4 kilos, I think. Let's get that right, just in case. No, 7 pounds is 1 stone. No, 14 pounds is 1 stone. Let's just get this right. What are we looking for here? Oh, God. It will bring up what we're looking for. Okay, so pound. 1 pound is that, but 1 stone. Now the reason is 14 pounds. Standard baby, 7 pounds. Well, have I got that right over here? What did I say? 14 pounds is 1 stone. Now 1 stone kilos. No, I was way out. 6.3 kilos. .3 kilos. I don't know why. Kilos. And if you're not sure what a kilo is, it's a bag of sugar. If you ever hold a bag of sugar in your hand, you're in the right area there. Now, why is this important? When you're talking to people about weight loss in Ireland, they'll usually speak in stone. And Americans will always speak in pounds. Now you might say, well, I'm not going to be walking around the world talking to people. That's our 5-minute warning. I'm not going to be walking around the world talking about stones. No, but you could be watching TV and you might be watching Oprah and she'll be talking about pounds. And then you might turn on RTE and they'll be talking about stone. And you might think, oh, I think in kilos, when you're talking about weight loss, which is now what a lot of people are doing. They're going into kilos and half a kilo and 2 kilos, and it's manageable. It takes a long time to lose a stone, as you can imagine. It could be a long time trying to do that. So, and by the way, they never use the plural. It's 15 stone. Yeah. But 14 pounds. Okay. And our height is in feet. The height is in feet. Now, what you need to understand is 30 centimeters. 30 centimeters is 1 foot. Your standard plastic ruler. 30 centimeters equals 1 foot. Standard plastic ruler. JJ is 6 foot. So if you're saying, well, what's 6 foot? That's I'm 6 foot, okay, and it's 183 centimeters. So I'm 6 foot approximately. Somebody who's taller than me, like Donald Trump, he's 6'4", and his son Barron Trump is 6'8". Now, we don't say 6 feet. We say that if you're measuring laterally, horizontally, but a person's height. Do you? Okay. Okay. So, you know, when somebody asks you your height, no, you should know your height in centimeters and feet. Okay. And you should know your weight in kilos and stone. But if you're going to America, you should know your weight in pounds. Very complex. There's a UK, American, and an EU. And I think they vary slightly.
And these are maybe differences between brands, sometimes they.
I agree with you. Like XL in one brand is XXXXXL in another brand. Yeah, you know, so yeah, it can be very hard to work out what they are. But if you're speaking in your height, you should know what height. If somebody says, what height are you? Be prepared, know your height in both. So you might say 183 centimeters. How do I know that? It's written on my passport. That's how I know. That's written on my passport, yeah. To know how high I am, how tall I am. Not how high I am, how tall I am. Yeah.
I don't know if I have this in my passport.
Is it in your passport? So yeah. That's the only reason why I know my centimeter height, because I've seen it in my passport. And but you should always know your height and your weight, because sometimes people will ask you, and it's something you should just be able to rattle off. It's, you know.
But when you're going to do the passport, they measure you, or no, you just say?
I think you just say, which is a very stupid thing, because you could say anything.
They check?
Where was that?
But after that, then my ID.
Me too, I think.
I don't have this.
So the Brazilian passport doesn't have height.
Not even.
It makes sense though when you think about it. Because like if somebody's pretending to be me and they're only like 150 centimeters, then you know, people say he's 183 centimeters. You're not 183 centimeters. It makes sense.
Have you new?
No, mine is old. My passport's very old. I just got my new one recently. Remember when I was applying for my passport, when I was going abroad, somebody said, you know what you should do before you go abroad? Get passport photos done, so that if you apply for something in Poland or Saudi Arabia, you'll always have passport photos to hand, you know. Now, this was before digital. And I went into my local pharmacy. That's where a place that you can get them done in Ireland. Why? Pharmacies, they just do. Okay, pharmacies also sell perfume and gifts, you know, so that's weird for a lot of foreign people. Anyway, I went in and it was my local pharmacy, and the two girls knew me, you know, and at one stage they were joking with me as they were taking the photograph. And one of them was called Kathleen, who says, Kathleen, sit over on his knee and give him a kiss. And I started going, oh, like that. And all of my passport photos were like this. I looked like a donkey calling his mother, like, like that. And the girls gave them to me, and I came out afterwards and going, that looks silly. And I was too embarrassed to go back in that. So everywhere I went in Saudi Arabia, they'd go. And I'm going, I know, it's just, no, they're going, sure. And then the police had stopped in Saudi Arabia going, what the fuck? Just one problem after another, you know, all because of those two girls who worked in the bloody pharmacy. All right, anyway. So so we're going back to our high value verbs. Okay, now hey, there's the union rep over here. Yeah, go on. We better take a break, Mateus. They're complaining here. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. No, Mateo says he wants to keep going. He says, all right, let's take a break. We'll come back in after a while. We're back. Kind of short break today, but we'll take a longer one another day. All right, now. Where were we? We were looking at these high value verbs. Okay, now we're going to look at some high value problem and solution verbs. This won't be new to you, really. We've looked at these guys before. We don't say have a problem anymore. We're beyond that. Have a problem is too basic. We can face a problem. We can encounter a problem. We can experience a problem, run into a problem, come up against a problem, come across a problem, be faced with a problem, come face to face with a problem, and be confronted by a problem. You see here how we have face, be faced with, and come face to face with. We use these for bigger and bigger problems. Problem, big problem, very big problem. So you come face to face with death, for example, but you could be faced with bankruptcy, but you could face difficulty. So that's the difference between number 2, number 8, and number 9. They get big, bigger, biggest. All right. Now for the solution verbs, we know these guys: solve, deal with, handle, address, tackle, overcome, get over a problem, get around a problem, get through a problem, and try to find a solution to a problem. Okay, we can add try to all of these, you know. Now, get over a problem means you're going to kind of climb over it, but it can also mean recover. So I got over the flu. Okay. Get around it suggests you're going to avoid the problem. And get through it means you're going to start and experience the problem all the way from beginning to end. So people often say, look, we'll get through this. That means that there's no way of avoiding the situation. It has to go the whole way. So there are 20 high value problem and solution verbs. We've met these already. They're not exactly new to us, but they're important to know. Okay, so we're not going to have problems anymore. We're going to face a problem, encounter, experience. And we also know that for nouns, we're not going to be using problem. We're going to go issue, challenge, hurdle, those kind of words. Now, cause and effect phrases, these are new, okay? They're not new to you, but they're new to our class. Cause can be cause a problem. For example, you never cause something good, you always cause something bad, okay? All right. Result in, this can be good or bad, and it can result in an effect. So, for example, good investment resulted in an improved economy, okay? Lead to can lead to effects. So good investment will lead to a better economy. Contribute to, both positive and negative. Smoking contributes to cancer. Good investment contributes to a better economy. Be one of the main causes of is always negative. Always negative. So you can say, for example, good investment was one of the main causes of an improved economy. It's one of the main causes, smoking is one of the main causes of cancer. Right. So number 5 is a negative thing. Okay. Number 1 is a negative, but 2, 3, 4 are universal, both. Be key factor in, both, and is a very good phrase to use to be a key factor in. So instead of saying cause, like smoking causes cancer, focus, smoking can be a key factor in cancer. All right. If you use a verb after these guys, usually verb ing. So this has resulted in losing a lot of money. This led to becoming president. It contributed to gaining weight. It's one of the main causes of developing obesity. It can be a key factor in becoming wealthy. So if you use a verb after these, the good news is verb ing. But this uses two. I know. They use verb ing.
Well,
No, good question. There's no verb used after cause, it goes directly. Good question. Play a major role in. We sort of met this guy before, play a more significant role, but play a major role in. So how would you hedge your language here? Can play a major role, can often, can sometimes, can frequently play a major role in. And if you use a verb ing, so it can play a major role in developing diabetes. Okay. Can be a significant contributing factor to the same, developing diabetes. Now, all you have to do is put the cause at the start, the effect at the beginning, at the end, and boop, you've got a high quality sentence. Smoking causes cancer. Smoking can be a significant contributing factor to cancer. Now, do you see the hedging language here? Here, there's no hedging. Here, you're hedging your language. All right. So, for example, sugar causes obesity. Now, someone might say to you, whoa, it's more complex than that. You say, okay, sugar can be a significant contributing factor to obesity. Very difficult to argue with you now. You've hedged your language. Before you came in, we were talking about hedging. Normally, when you'd see small trees all together in a line, that's a hedge, okay? But to hedge as a verb means to use a careful approach to something. So first of all, the IELTS exam, and then in academic English, and then in lifelong professional English, we hedge our language. So for example, you could say, let's say, for example, the air traffic controllers caused the accident. Now, that's a very big statement, isn't it? But the air traffic controllers' communication was a significant contributing factor to the accident. All right. Or they played a major role. And what are its major's three sisters called? Major's the big brother, but he has three sisters. Significant, substantial, and don't think, just say it fast. It's in your brain, just say it.
Substantial.
Say again, Matthias.
No, it's not a constantial.
No, it's not.
Considerable.
Bingo. Thank you, Matthias. Considerable. That's exactly right. So the three sisters are again considerable,
Significant, considerable, and substantial.
and substantial.
Substantial. Yeah.
Substantial. Okay. So that's how we use them. So you see these guys here, be a key factor in, play a major role in, be a significant contributing factor to. 6, 7, and 8, you really have to make these our number one guys. Why? They're very high value. Why are they high value? They're very natural. We love them. We use them all the time. Students don't use them enough. Native speaker uses them easy peasy. And of course, lead to, result in, and contribute to, or also. Really, from number 2 to 8, these are fantastic. From number 2 to 8, they're really, if you're including these. And why? It is 100% guaranteed you will be asked for your opinion. As part of your opinion, you will identify problematic situations. What do we want to know about problems? the cause of problems. Okay, what consequences will we have for certain causes of problems? But we'll also want to know solutions. What can lead to solutions? What can contribute to solutions? What can be a key factor in solutions? So, do exercise, lose weight. Now, if you start a sentence with a verb, it must be verb ing. Do exercise, lose weight. And I want you to use the modal verb can. Contributing. No, contributing. Good. Which verb form comes after this? Ing. Good. Do it again now. And by the way, everybody pay attention, because I'm going to ask you to do the same sentence with the other guys as well. Off you go. Yeah. Good. This one. And again, can.
Doing exercise can play a major role in.
Do it again.
Doing exercise. Exercises or exercise?
Exercise.
Doing exercise can. Doing exercise can play a major role in losing weight.
Good. So Mateus mightn't be able to hear that. Doing exercise can play a major role in losing weight. Same sentence, but can be a key factor in. Off you go, Mateus. Are you there, Mateus? We've lost Mateus, I think. Okay. Take this one, Maddie.
It's been on blurry here.
Is it?
Not there with you.
Come back in a minute. It must be the connection. Maybe it's because we're sharing the connection. Okay, maybe take it from the screen then, so you'll do the key factor.
Doing exercise can be a big factor in losing weight.
Okay. Eat junk food, gain weight. Eat junk food, gain weight.
Eating junk food can be one of the main causes of gaining weight.
Good. Now she went with this one because this is negative. Well done. Next one, number 6.
Eating junk food can be a big factor in gaining weight.
Good. Number 7, Maddie.
Eating
Junk food.
Eating junk food can play a major role in gaining weight.
Good. And when you're practicing these phrases, can play a major role in, can play a major role in, can play a major role in, can play a major role in. Get it in as one flow. Can play a major role in, can play a major role in. Do it again, Maddie.
Eating junk food. Eating junk food can play a major role in gaining weight.
Perfect. Number 8.
Eating junk food can be a significant contributor.
Contributing.
Eating junk food can be a significant contributing factor to gaining weight.
That's it. Bring about, I would avoid the verb ing with this guy, and I would just say bring about a problem. It's not my favorite. It's on the list, but it's not my favorite. Why? It's not as easy to put. How about eat junk food up here?
Keeping junk food without making.
Good. Number 3.
Keeping junk food can lead to gaining.
Number 4.
Keeping junk food can
And contribute to. Always on the trib. Trib is your big contribute to, contributing factor to. Good. Now, look what you're giving the examiner in these sentences. When you know verb ing starts the sentence and verb ing follows these clauses, and you know these phrases, that's winner, winner, chicken dinner for the examiner. He's going to go, wow. Students screw that up all the time. But you've been let into the secret that start the sentence with a verb ing, unless it's a command. Shut up, sit down, get back. That's a command. But in any other sentence, like having children can be a significant contributing factor to living longer. Okay, so if you say, have children, live longer. Having children can be a significant contributing factor to living longer. Now, having children can be a significant contributing factor to living longer. That is 21 words. Very close to 10% of your essay done. So these guys are really important for us. Okay. And then if you start putting them into a but family, while I accept that having children can be a significant contributing factor to living longer, comma, I would also point out that it can be a key factor in raising stress. Yeah. In either the and family or the but family. Now, we don't have to do that. We could just use it in another sentence later, but we can see how, Jesus, we'd nearly have a full paragraph by the time we're finished, or we'd be close to. So, and if you practice saying this so that it flows, then you can practice writing that so it flows, and you'll kill the number one enemy, time. All my students could do a great essay if they had an hour and a half to do the essay. But what kills them is they're writing a very nice essay, but they don't write 250 words. They might write 100 words or 150 words, but they don't get to 250. Why not? They're taking too long. In our strategy, we're looking at 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Okay, we're looking at 5 50s. I think I said 5, maybe I said 6. 50, 50, 50, 50, 50. Okay, that we have 6 minutes to do each 50. And once you see these kind of phrases, you think, geez, I could easily do a 50-word paragraph with some of these beauties. Like, these are really, really good, especially when we Lego them into some of our other friends. Besides leading to, for example, besides being a significant contributing factor to something, exercise can also lead to something. So you can put them into, maybe not exactly this sentence, but we can always put them in with the and family. So for example, smoking, as well as being a significant contributing factor to, and then you say that, so that all goes in here in this verb phrase, we'd say. And let's just take it. Let's, oops, geez, it looks like I just did. Let's take it down here. And then verb ing, and then cause phrase. These guys will go. So your verb ing phrase will go here. So, as well as being, as well as playing. Be and play are the two major verbs, and then you'll have resulting. Resulting what? Resulting in. And what was the other one? Lead. Result in, lead. Lead. Come on, get off the phones, guys. Come on now. Lead what? Lead to. Result in, lead to. Okay. Now, what goes here? Well, we've been key factor. The other verb ing, as well as being a key factor in as well as being a key factor in developing diabetes. Okay. And we'll go with can here. Might change that later to may, might, can also. And now we're going for our next phrase. So as well as being a key factor in developing diabetes, an unhealthy diet can also play a more major role in. Lead to, as well as being, what was the one with significant? Say it fast. No. Say it fast. Be a significant contributing on the trib, contributing. So as well as being a significant contributing factor, and what did we see here? Factor 2. Now, it's tricky. You will find examples within, okay? But if you're going to use a verb, stick with 2, okay? Stick with 2. As well as being a significant contributing factor to what? Verb ing. Now remember, what kind of verbs would go in well in here? Verb ings. What was the verb to make something good or better? Okay. Improving or enhancing. Enhancing, yeah, it's on one of the earlier ones, as well as being a significant contributing factor to enhancing or improving what? Improving our core strength. Okay. Or you could use the verb strengthen. The noun of strong is strength. The verb of strength is strengthen. The verb ing of strength is strengthening. As well as being a significant contributing factor to strengthening our core. Sit-ups can also, you know, these kind of things where you go, and this core. So even if you're in a gym, you're talking about health and fitness, as well as being a significant contributing factor to strengthen our core. Sit-ups can also go in developing flexibility. in the rest of our body. Now, look at that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. Again, half paragraph. Right? They don't have to be that long. Could be smoking can play a major role in cancer, but developing cancer will be better. Okay. And what will we notice? Very often now our high value verbs will be perfect here. One of them will work really well. So for example, as well as being a key factor in, playing a major role in, resulting in. Resulting in won't use a noun necessarily, it'll go straight over to this one over here. And look, helping prevent. Besides playing a major role in helping prevent accidents, see, let me see. Health and safety training can also now what we want one of these guys. So what we say can also be a significant contributing factor. Okay, can also be a significant contributing factor to okay, and what's the verb here? Play. Play a major role in development. So sit-ups can also play a major role in developing flexibility in the rest of our body. Again, you're talking about very easy 20 words and not difficult to bring about 28 words. Now, how can we do this? Well, it's very simple to do this. Pick, and you just need a verb and a noun, a verb and a noun. So for example, let's write this down. Provide school lunches to children. Now, we're looking for two results from this. We're going to go with positives because we can't really think of, and if you want, you can say provide healthy school lunches to children. Provide healthy, because we'll clarify that it's healthy, it's not junk food. Provide healthy school lunches to children. Now, what are the benefits of that? Two benefits to that. Some kids come to school hungry, and if a kid is hungry, what can they not do? Exactly. So either concentrate, attention, or focus, high value verbs. Well, pay attention or increase awareness or focus. And of course, what verb will you add here? Does it guarantee their focus? It helps their focus. Okay. Now we want two. We want two, remember that. We want two benefits. So what are the two benefits? Because providing healthy lunches to children will all go in here. Oh, sorry, no, we'll go in here.
Benefit that you have the helpers.
Yeah.
Together.
Well, if they're, yeah. Yeah. But we're thinking in school. You know, if a kid is hungry, they might not socialize well. Might cause arguments, might be cranky with their classmates. So it improves their socialization. And again, now you can see verbs like develop, improve, enhance. Could be very useful here. Matthias, can you hear us now?
Yes, yes.
Okay. To be honest, Matthias, Melina's computer had the same problem, so it might be an all-round Sligo situation. I'm not sure. Could be the
Yeah,
weather,
probably.
too. It's very rainy at the moment. Okay, so by the way, excuse me for saying this, but it might have caused a problem here. Providing healthy lunches to children will go in here. That is the subject. In this case, it's a gerund subject. Why it's a gerund subject? Having children is a gerund subject. Being a student, it's a gerund subject. It's like a verb ing and a noun, creating an overall noun. So that's your subject. That will go in there. Benefit 1 will be here. Benefit 2 will be here, but the cause is in here. Looks complicated at the beginning. Once you start doing it 3 or 4 times, you're right. This is easy peasy Japanese. You done? All right. So what was your subject?
Providing healthy food lunches to children. Providing healthy food lunches.
Give me a second. Okay, so providing healthy school lunches to children. So now, what was your overall sentence?
Besides helping.
Okay,
Besides helping children's helpers.
all right, so you didn't use a cause phrase, but that's no biggie. That's no problem. We can go over here and we can put that down here. All right, so besides helping helping children's focus. Okay, now. You're not using a cause phrase here. So for the purposes of this exercise, we want be a key factor, play a major role in resulting in, leading to, be a significant contributing factor to. The helping isn't helping us here. Now your sentence is good, but it's not the game we're playing. You're playing soccer, we're playing basketball. So benefit 1 goes here. The cause goes here, and benefit 2 goes here. So let me just do this. This is benefit 1. This is the action that causes this. This is the causing action. Or the adjective for cause is causal action. And this is benefit 2 over here. It's benefit 2 over here. Benefit 1. Benefit 2. What's in the middle? Causal action.
Besides playing a major role in helping children focus.
Okay, helping besides playing a major role in. Okay. Over here. This one goes here. Helping children. Now you can just say helping children focus, because remember, help goes directly to the infinitive. It's an unusual one. So help children focus, help parents pay, help students study. So besides playing a major role in helping children focus. Yeah, and then we'll pull this one down here. Boom. Okay.
Providing help school lunches for children. That mom will be children.
You are, so helping children focus, providing in, so we'll change our thing and we'll say in primary schools. Now, now we know it's children by default.
And also give their socialization.
No, we want a causal phrase. That will come over here, but you want a causal phrase here. So, if you want, you could go with this one. No, because we've used major role here, so we just can also be a key factor. Now, what does it do for them? Now your verb will come in. Improving. Hey, let's just look at this and see what we have. So benefit 1 was, besides playing a major role in helping children focus, then we had our comma, and we had providing healthy lunches in primary schools can also be a key factor in improving their socialization skills. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So like we're getting 27, 28 words in there. And what we're doing is we're using the and family to talk about two benefits. Now, I'd say in benefit one, benefit two, it might not be benefits, they might be consequences. So I'll put that in a moment, benefits / consequence. Consequence is usually a bad result. Do you know what? We should say result one, result two. Then it's a thing, and this is the causal action. So you do this, you'll get this result, this result. Let me just change that to result one, result two, because that's cause and result, a cause and effect. Let's say effect one, effect two.
And you can put one edge.
Hedging.
Hedging.
Well, we all do, I suppose, but you'll find that these guys here that we're looking at, they're brilliant. You know, they're worth putting them on the fridge. And because it's not that you didn't know these before. I didn't really teach you these today. I showed you these and you go, I know that one. Kind of know that one too. Like none of you are at that level where you'd say, oh, I've never used that phrase before. You might have used it, but you've seen it. Now you're going, all right, I should be using these in my essay. Why? You will be asked for your opinion. When you're given your opinion, you will be able to identify a problematic situation. When we talk about problems, we want to talk about the cause of the problems, the solutions for the problems, and cause and effect are a central part of that. They're a central part of that. Can we use these for simple sentences? Sure. Smoking can be one of the main causes of cancer. Full stop. We can use these for short sentences. I don't think that I'm constantly trying to get you to build huge sentences. That's not, I want to show you that they can build these if we want them to. We could easily do two very short ones, okay? So for example, let's do a short one. Along with leading to illnesses. So that's in this one leading to. Doesn't need anything. Oh Jesus, what did I just do? These three, okay? Along with leading to diseases such as diabetes, I'll say again. Overconsumption. Of what? Fruit drinks. Can also result in and look, that's the whole phrase there, can also result in severe dental problems or issues. We don't want to use problems. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, still 21. But we cut out a load of the stuff. Along with leading to diseases such as, remember, speak in general, use a phrase like such as, and then give an example. Diseases such as diabetes, overconsumption of fruit drinks can also result in severe dental problems. What preposition do I need for when it's inside a group? Among and young children. That's a major issue. I couldn't believe it when I saw that. You know, these fruit drinks to give like apple juice to kids. And Jesus Christ, rots their teeth completely if they're taking it consistently. Yeah. I was really shocked when I saw it because I thought, apple juice, come on, it's great. Not so good. So there's our effect one. And look, along with leading to diabetes, even if you didn't want to say diseases such as diabetes, what's going to cause this? Overconsumption of fruit drinks can also result in what? Severe dental problems. Severe means very bad among young children. Now I could have said severe dental problems full stop, but I decided to specify who in here. So say again. I could have said among them, but I hadn't mentioned children. Oh, if you had, then yes. But how did you say it? Did you say among children? Because you don't want to repeat among. No, and I'll tell you what happened here. In your subject, you said the government should do something. Don't do that. Just say provide, go with your verb, start from your verb, ing, and there now. So instead of saying the government should, what was that? What was the verb after should? So stick to provide, providing healthy lunches. Okay. No, and don't put in the noun. This is what we call a gerund subject. So for example, children, when you have children, how can we change that into a subject? Having children. Okay. You know, when you eat sugar, how can I change that into a subject? Eating sugar. So it can be very useful there. What was the formal version of high value verb today? That means eating, drinking, and watching. Consuming. Do you consume cigarettes? No, you don't. Can you consume Coca-Cola? Can you consume high junk food? Can you consume social media? Good. Social media, yes, you can. You can consume. Can you consume drugs? No.
No.
No, you can't. You take drugs. You take drugs and you take medicine. Okay. Now, if with medicine, it can be different. If it's something you can drink, you can consume it. So she can consume 2 bottles of cough mixture in a week because she drank it. But medicine is take. It is not consume. Consume is limited to eat, drink, and watch on TV, etc. Now, it's not popular for TV and social media, but it exists. But it cannot be used. Maybe we'll write this down in our notes. A lot of stuff open here. Can you consume alcohol? So pay attention to that, though not very popular. But we take drugs and we smoke cigarettes. You don't consume cigarettes because you're not eating or drinking them. Now, we take medicine, but if a medicine So we don't consider tablets as eating. But when we swallow, like cough mixture, possible. But if a medicine is liquid,
Like coffee mix.
Cough.
Coffee.
cough mixture. But if it's liquid, example, cough mixture, we can say consume, though many will say take. So any liquid that you can buy in the pharmacy that you can just drink straight from the bottle, it's possible to say she consumed 2 bottles of that. Okay. But most people would say she took 2 bottles of it. Why? They're talking about medicine. I'm just telling you it's possible. But you take drugs and you smoke cigarettes. We do not consume. Not consume. We take drugs and medicine. And we smoke cigarettes. Could you consume a bottle of whiskey? Yes, you can. Okay. Would you take a bottle of whiskey? No, that means you just took it. So somebody came into Super Value and took a bottle of whiskey. Okay. Thank you. We take drugs and medicine and smoke cigarettes, not consume. We take medicine, but if a medicine is liquid, example, cough mixture, we can say consume, the many will still say take. Okay. So consume is one of our high value verbs. Now, this is what the other thing I want to tell you about that. Another word for a customer who buys product is what? Yes. But do we consume TVs? Correct. So the consumer can buy a TV, but he can't consume a TV. You're a consumer. And by the way, when you're writing essays, it's higher value to refer to customers going into shops buying products as consumers. Yeah. Because you don't have customer rights, you have consumer rights. And you don't have customer regulations, you have consumer regulations. So go with consumer, you'll sound more native speaker. Okay. Can I say, so I should never use the word consumer? No. You're talking about the guy in the shop. I have to deal with customers all the time. That's fine. You're talking about that relationship. But when you're talking about, if you zoom out and you're talking about, let's say, retail or, people, how they spend their money, that's consumers. So you don't have a customer survey, you'd have a consumer survey. You'd have a customer survey if it was in the shop. And then if you're talking about a national zoom out focus, to be consumer research. But which do you prefer? My Wadi or Robinson's? So you go, My Wadi, that's a customer survey. But a consumer survey would be looking at the whole country about how people buy. There's a brilliant book, if you can ever get your hands on it. It's called The Persuaders. I forget who the author was. There it is. It is really, really interesting. It's the hidden industry that wants to change your mind. And it's called nudging. To nudge is to do this. So Sana nudged me. What? This is the elbow. But to nudge is like this.
Like calling their feet.
That's right. And there's an idiom we have. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. It means this isn't real. I'm saying that, but that's not what we really do. You know, so for example, you'd say, SuperValue is a wonderful place to work with a fantastic staff training. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Okay. And sometimes we do this, and sometimes we say wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Or you might write it in a WhatsApp message, because you can't do this in a WhatsApp message. So you say wink, wink, nudge, nudge. 4 forms of nudge.
Nudge, 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 nudge.
Good. And wink is regular. Wink.
Wink, wink, wink.
Good. I had a very embarrassing situation once where I was teaching in Poland and I was young and I was like in my mid-20s, I suppose, 24, 25. And a lot of my students were 18 or 19. So, you know, that we were close in age, so they'd often come talking to me about stuff. And this guy called Bartek Chempik, there was a girl in the class, and honest to God, she was stunningly beautiful. Her name was Anna Postrak. And Anna Postrak, even when she'd be walking around the school as a teacher, I would run, Jesus, that girl is beautiful. And one day she came to my door and she said, I have a massage for you. And I thought, I'm going to wait just for a second now before I say anything. And I'm going to pretend it's true. I'm just going to pretend it's true. And I said, do you mean message? She said, yeah, a message. Okay. And who's it from? I was from the other English teacher. Thank you. But she was really beautiful. And she kind of liked Bartek, but he didn't know if it was as a friend or, you know, potential boyfriend. And one day she said, Anna Postrak likes me. And he misused the word wink. He thought wink was irregular, like drink, drank, drunk, drinking. So he said wink, wank, wonk, winking. But wank means to have sex alone, you know, to masturbate. It's a thing. So I said, oh really? Well, why do you think that? He said, because she wanked at me. And I said, what? When did that happen? I thought that's a very strange thing to do. But I didn't realize it was a mistake because his English is pretty good. He goes, yeah, she did. I said, when? I was like, oh, when did that happen? And he said, in class, in your class. And I said, in my class? And he goes, yeah, yeah. And I said, where was she? She was sitting across from me. And I said, down the back. And yeah. And I was going, wait a second, show me? And she said, no. She wanked. I mean, okay. Oh, okay. Okay. But wink, wink, nudge, nudge. This book, The Persuaders, very interesting book. And it talks about how they do it in political life, media, but also in advertising. It tells a very interesting story. One day, a man came to a supermarket manager with a complaint. And he said, the supermarket was sending out, you know, like how Lidl have a little brochure.
Yeah.
Well, in supermarkets in America, you don't just pick those up. They'll post them to your house so that, you know, you can see what's there. And if you haven't been in the shop for a while, you're being reminded what's in the shop. And he said he had a complaint because they were sending this particular branch in the US had different types of stuff. So they didn't send out a big, huge one. They sent out ones, like if I was into gardening, Dad would get one on gardening. But if Mom was into makeup, they'd send out one on makeup. So there, you know, there'd be like the Lidl magazines, they'd be light, so for easy posting. The father was complaining because they had sent his daughter one on baby items. He said, my daughter's only 15. I don't want her thinking like that. And I don't know why the supermarket are sending it to her. And the manager said, well, it's never us that sends it. It's like head office in New York that would send that out. So, but he said, what I'll do is I'll contact head office and I'll get back to you and I'll follow up on this. So I take your complaint very seriously. I totally agree. I see what you mean. The manager rang the father. He wrote to the shop thing. They got back to him maybe 2 weeks later. And he rang the father and said, I'm just following up to let you know that I've addressed that problem. And the father said, no, it's okay, don't worry about it. Your daughter was pregnant. But the daughter didn't know she was pregnant when they sent her the things. So do you know what it was? Daughter was feeling nauseous. So she was getting nausea tablets. Like it's one of those, I think it's Target. Is it Target in the US? They're a huge brand, or CVS maybe. They do everything. And when she paid for her with her loyalty card, like you have in Super Valley, do you have a loyalty card? She always asks. It was booped on their system. And then a while later, even before she did the pregnancy test, there were 1 or 2 other items. And the algorithm is so clever that it's gone boop, 1 + 1 + 1 is 7. And they were able to work it out. And by the time she had bought the pregnancy test, they were already going, wrap that up, get some baby clothes out there, and all that kind of stuff. And the supermarket knew she was pregnant before she knew she was pregnant.
It's just like social media, if you look for something on Google,
Yeah.
start coming on your Facebook, everywhere you go, you find the same thing.
That's right.
Sometimes you remember for something that's fun.
Whatever you eat, it feeds you more of. Yeah, that's true. I suffer terribly from joint pain. I don't know if you ever noticed when I'm walking. I tend to walk like an old man, and I have very bad joint pain. And it's got worse and worse in recent years. And it I got it shortly after I got the COVID injections, and I thought that's nothing to do with that. Would it be? Nah. And then I did some research on it, and some of the condition I have was swollen. I have very badly swollen legs and ankles. It showed it exactly there. Anyway, I've often complained about the problem. And the other day I was down the farm working on something, and I put on my headphones just as I was working. And I heard this very interesting YouTube podcast between a guy who used to work for the insurance industry, as he's a scientist, but he's not a doctor. And he said that they have algorithms now that can predict within 6 months to a year when you will die. They can work it out and you'll die. He said that's why the insurance company always pays out in life insurance, because they never get it wrong. And he said it's not just your diet, it could be your commuting habits. So if you cycle to work, they'll have that, and it won't be just you telling them they cycle to work. They'll be able to get that information from stuff you buy, like a helmet, bicycle lamp, Velcro, Lycra, something like that. And they'll also be able to it also checks your social media as well. And it will check all this kind of technology they have now and they've had it for a long time. They calculate all of these things, plus your medical records. So if they saw, for example, something to do with high blood pressure or fainting, they would put that together with some other stuff. And they're able to calculate. And he said that when he was sitting in his office and they were looking at various people's files, he knew that if he contacted that person and said, stop taking salt with your dinner, or add more salt to your dinner, that could help them. And he told HR, he said, we should contact that person and tell them. But HR said, no, you can't do that. But he said, but it'll benefit the company. We won't have to pay out. And said it's against protocol. We can't let people know how much we know about them. So,
Some customers super long, they don't want to have the loyalty card. Because of this, they are aware of how can we track the habits.
Yeah. yeah, because once you have that, that data can be sold elsewhere. You know, sometimes when you ring some company and they say, thank you for holding. Please be aware that we voices are recorded for something in training purposes. And you go, yeah, yeah. They used to sell those to an AI company in Colorado that took all of these telephone conversations from all around the world and played them. And that was one of the reasons that, you know, when you speak into WhatsApp and it can understand you. I don't know if you noticed, but like 7 or 8 years ago, that was shit. That was really bad. And then it got better and better and better. And now you know, on YouTube with the automatic subtitles, that's not some guy, you know, it's an army of people writing, and that's just it listening to it. And it's much better now than it used to be. Yeah. And very often is, and by the way, you know, the don't know if I've ever told you this, you know, the what's it called? See these captures? See these capture pics?
Yeah.
Do you know what they're for?
What they are for?
Yeah. Teaching AI. Every time you say, if you say, pick the traffic lights, you go this one, this one, this one. You think it's just for your security. They're getting people all over the world to teach the AI. See those? They are traffic lights. And then if there's a traffic light, we'd say over there on the ground, we'll say that's a traffic light. So they'll teach them how to do it. And all of those capture tests are being used to teach AI. And who's teaching them? We are. And they're using us to do it. It's so cheeky, really. Yeah. Because I always get it wrong. Because you see there, I'd say, well, there's a bit there. I'd say a bit there. And look, there's a little bit here. And there's a little bit here. And then it goes, no, do it again. I'm going.
If I do one twice and then it's I do it again. And
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's crazy.
I hate
Yeah.
If I want to do, no, try again.
Yeah. Because those ones, you see, weren't too bad. But these ones, these are like helping the AI companies to deliver all this. But it's absolutely amazing. Those that book that he was talking about in The Persuaders, The Persuaders. And he says all of the things, even the use of language nowadays, they'll think, and this thing of nudges, this is similar. I don't know if it's the same guy. It's not, no. Yeah. But The Persuaders, yeah, they use it a lot. But the thing that was on yesterday, I thought you'd find this interesting. This guy, he was on about the people who could have been saved. So now he left the insurance company, he just left the insurance company, couldn't do that anymore because he thought, we know when these people would die. It would be better for the insurance companies to tell them so they would live longer and they wouldn't have to pay out as much, because as you get older, the amount they pay out is less. But they just don't want people knowing how much they know. That was the really sinister thing about it, because they'd be showing their hand, you know, like when you play cards, if you're not careful, show your hand. So they'd show their hand to them. So he left it. He was quite emotional about it. He said he just felt terrible about knowing this. We could have helped people and we could have stopped them, you know. And his company now does hundreds and hundreds of thousands of tests, like, you know, like little swab tests, and they can prove certain things immediately. And he talked about, so the guy said to him, now I don't like the podcaster who was interviewing him, I don't know, he's called The Diary of a CEO. I don't know if you've ever come across it. He's gonna eat just this one. He's young and he thinks he's like amazing. Anyway, he said, so tell us, what can people do in real life? What could you do every morning? So he said cold shower is very important. Not doing that.
Me neither.
But here's one. He called it grounding.
I do it.
Do you do it? Because I said I must say it to you, and I wasn't going. I said I wouldn't be surprised if she's already doing this, because I know you're interested in health and that thing. So how do you do grounding?
I just go outside, go get my barefoot.
That's what he said.
Yeah. I did this, I went to the Patrick's head
Right.
last week, Patrick's head.
Yeah.
You know where it's
Yeah, I
at?
do. It's over Mayo.
So I went there.
Near
and-
Belmont.
And it gave me this urge to do that. I just put my shoes out,
Took my shoes off.
put my shoes off.
And was that the first time you did it?
No.
So you do this regularly?
Because I think that I'm very,
So you didn't read about this, you just do this.
maybe sometime, long time that I do it. I
Well,
don't know if I
He said
read.
in his, I'll send it to you, but I have to say, it's like a couple of hours long and you'd want to be fascinated. Plus it's not, but it'd be interesting for you because I know you're interested in this kind of thing. But he said that when they do a test before and after people do grounding, and they've done it with hundreds of thousands of people. They prick their finger and they put it under a little slide in the microscope and they look at the red blood cells. And he says, before they ground, they're all clumped together. But after people ground, or do this grounding exercise, they're all pulled apart from each other and they're all like this. He said they look like eggs boiling in the water. You know, they're apart from each other and they're vibrating after people have done a grounding exercise. And he combines it. It's not just putting your feet on the ground. It's also doing deep breathing exercises, I think, as well. And I think that's why we sigh as well. That's why we sigh. Sigh, sighed, sighed, sigh.
Release,
Yeah.
release.
And here's an interesting thing. A friend of mine, the Bridge of Sighs in Venice is this one. And everybody's always thought that's because when lovers go down there, they go, ah, but it's not. This is the courthouse and this is the prison. And that bridge connects the courthouse to the prison. And if you look carefully when you're passing, maybe in this picture, you can see the bars on the windows. So it has nothing to do with romance. It is, in fact,
Agony.
yeah, open image in new tab. You'll be able to see it on this one. Look at the bars on the windows. That's why it's called Bridge of Sighs. And that's why, look, there are all these kind of enclosed things on it, so that when you go from the courthouse and you're sentenced, if you go free, you go out the front door. But if you don't go free, you'll go across the bridge into the prison. Oh. Yeah. And there's a famous book called by Salman Rushdie. He was the guy that the Ayatollah Khomeini put a fatwa on because he wrote a book. You probably know him to see. Salman Rushdie. But he wrote a book called The Moor's Last Sigh, and it was about the last Moorish king who was kicked out of Spain and they were sent back to Africa. And the reason it's called The Moor's Last Sigh was when the Moorish king was leaving Spain on the ship, his mother-in-law was standing beside him. And she was really angry that he didn't fight to the end. And he looked out and he went, oh, like that. And she said, Do not sigh like a woman for what you fail to defend like a man. And that's where the book gets its name. Do not sigh like a woman for what you fail to defend like a man. But that's where the Bridge of Sighs is. And we're just saying, Maddie, that this bridge is called the Bridge of Sighs. I don't know if you've ever heard it. It's in Venice. And people think it's because all the lovers are going, where is it? I could have lost it again now. The lovers are going across the bridge, are going underneath the bridge. But what it actually means is that this bridge, it has nothing to do with the lovers that you see on in the boats. This is the courthouse and this is the prison. And if you're, you see the bars on the window there. And if you're found guilty when you're crossing the bridge, you'll go. So that's where the Bridge of Sighs comes from. But anyway, it is, it's a lovely place. But that's what he said, that you have to do those deep breathing exercises while you're grounded. I found it absolutely fascinating, especially when he said that they did the test with the pinprick. That's what I found, like, wow.
But this thing about the blood is like the circulation.
What I didn't really fully understand why the red blood cells are jumping around. But I think it means that it's a way of fighting in, I have inflammation. You know, like how you'd have pains in your joints and things like that. Well, he said that's one way to really help yourself relieve. And I am absolutely killed with, like I have to walk really slowly and that. And that's why I always take the lift. I can't face the stairs because I have to take one step at a time, and people are going, what's wrong with him? He needs to go to the toilet or something? Yeah.
And I have it my pain. I don't have it anymore that often. Sometimes now I'm working in Supervalue with on the floor. So I'm lifting things.
Right.
And then I can feel the pain again. But I changed my lifestyle, so I don't carry. I don't need to carry heavy grocery and shopping for some distance. And it helps. But I think that there's something related to the weather, because in Brazil it's very common, like children are always barefoot.
Yeah.
Because it's very warm. So it's something that maybe that I just had as a memory. Yeah. It's a way that I feel like it's a release.
Because Maddie, just when you went out there, we were talking about grounding and deep breathing. And this guy who was talking yesterday on a podcast said that if you stand with your feet on the ground, because you know now how we're always up in concrete buildings, and that we all suffer from problems. He said you need to go out, take off your shoes and stand in grass, sand or soil and do deep breathing. Maybe when the weather is better, we could sit out the front or somewhere. But he said that they do a kind of a little test, a blood test before and after. And they're saying that it makes the red blood cells separate. And he said it's part of this, it helps fight inflammation.
And also my city is very, very dry. We have 6 months without rain.
Right.
So you get the electricity. So when you're getting inside the car, you
Oh,
have
the static.
The static. Yeah. So you get so you need to do the grounding to release
that static electricity. And does that help with that also? Wow. That's amazing. Because that hasn't happened to me recently, when you touch somebody's sweater. Yeah. But this is the grounding. I think this is it maybe. But can't find it really. But I must send you the link. I'll send it to the group in the thing. You might be interested, you might not be interested. But I found it fascinating, really. I'm not really into that kind of thing. But when he talked about it, I thought, wow, that's fascinating. Now, let's continue that topic slightly. Tell me two things. Tell me something you do that has two benefits. Something you do personally that has two benefits. Something that helps you relax. Now, it's one action. I will go in here, and it has two effects. So think of the one action first, and then tell me the two effects. Okay, watch movies in English. Now, what are the two effects? Good. Great. No, remember, watching movies will go over here. So we'll say watching movies in English. Now you want to use a cause phrase here, like be a key factor in, play a major role in, be a significant contributing factor to, lead to, result in. Either one, it doesn't matter. It can be as well as playing a major role in, or it could be besides being a. No, but we want to use a cause phrase here. It's not a cause phrase. So let's go back to cause phrases. Result in, lead to, contribute to, that's for negatives only. Be a key factor in, play a major role in. So as well as verb ing, being. Okay. So as well as being a key factor in, as well as being that one down there, a key factor in. Now you can use helping me relax, comma, watching movies in English. Now you want maybe this one. Skills. Now you did repeat English, but there's no way around it. Though we could understand that it might be your English language, so you say language skills. If you had to repeat English, okay, you had to. But if you could avoid it, now let's see how it reads. As well as being a key factor in helping me relax, watching movies in English can also play a major role in improving my language skills. And that is very high value. Okay. Word count: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26. 10% of your essay complete. And what are you doing? Effect 1, causal action, effect 2. Let's think about something negative now in your life. Okay, so smoke cigarettes. Now, tell me two of the effects that these can have. Doing this can have on you. What'd you say? You can, in addition to leading. Now, the only thing is, in addition to leading to, is 2-2. But you could say along with leading to. And that's the great thing about this, because in addition to leading to, oh my God, what am I going to do? Along with leading to, besides leading to, as well as leading to, you just take out one, put in the other. So we go with as well as. As well as leading to what? And if you want, you can do this as well as leading to. As well as leading to addiction. Smoking cigarettes can also. I am, I'm in class. Around 3:45. Okay, okay. I'll talk to you then, okay? Okay, bye. Hi, ma'am, I'm in class. I know you are. Yeah, it's just I have students here going, yeah, never mind that. Yeah, never mind. Tell them I said hello. Okay. Exactly. So diseases. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Still pretty close to 10% of your essay. Okay. Now, I know sometimes you want to put in standard verbs here. That's fine, but it's not what we want. Some of the sentences you were given to me, I said, no, go back and put in. Your sentences were fine, but we want to, see if we can use these cause and effect ones twice. All right, we better wrap it up there. Okay, Matthias, can you still hear us there?
Yes.
Okay, do you have any questions on this, or do you want to try an example before we wrap it up?
So no, that's good, John.
That's fine. That's good. That's
Yeah.
good. Okie dokie. All right, we'll leave it there until we see you all tomorrow. Okay. Mind
See you
yourself.
tomorrow, John.
All right. Bye.
Bye.